So in this video, we are going to be showing you guys how we built this media wall behind me. Just remember, we are not professionals, we are everyday DIYers, and we were able to come up with this beauty. Hope you guys are able to take some inspiration in this video in regards to how you can also build your own next media wall. We're going to take you through the steps that we took along the way and hope you guys enjoy it. And as per usual, if you're new around here, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to share this video. Let's get straight into it.
Yeah, I'm coming.
So building a media wall ain't easy at all, considering that we were building a media wall into an old existing wall, which obviously also was not straight. We also had to build a base in order to put the fireplace in, so we had to start from the bottom up, make sure everything was plumb as much as possible, and in order to put the fireplace in, as you guys can see here, then obviously we had to then put some noggins in to make sure that we had a bit of space in between the fireplace and the wall for ventilation. And as you can see here, we also had the plumbers in to help us fit the radiators. So we were basically working around each other because obviously time was of the essence.
Trump's idiots. He's just trying to cause World War III, if you ask me. You know what that feels, isn't it? Yeah. It does feel that way.
So here I'm just obviously putting in a noggin in between the two slabs that's against the wall, because obviously the fireplace itself had to be screwed against the wall, but we couldn't go right into the brick. We needed to leave a little bit of space in between the fireplace and the main wall for ventilation. So for the TV bracket, or where the TV is going to go, we obviously put a couple of nuggets into the wall for extra strength because our TV is quite heavy, and we got a heavy duty TV bracket and we wanted to make sure that it was secured and wasn't going to come off the wall. So here I'm just screwing it into the wooden nuggins that's already screwed into the wall. So next thing, trying to think ahead, is where this sky cable was going to come through. So I'm borrowing our plumber's hammer drill because I didn't have one. So luckily he was about today, so I was able to borrow his hammer drill. So I'm basically drilling a hole. I can't tell you the diameters, unfortunately, because I can't remember. Basically I'm drilling a hole. He didn't want to do it, so he said I should take responsibility. So take notes, guys. This is a hole basically for the sky cable to come in. We already have one for the internet coming through, so we wanted it quite close because by the time the media wall is fully built, we wanted the cables to be close as possible to the media wall, so we don't have any wire or cable management to deal with later.
Woo! Wow. First time for everything.
There's a big hole outside.
So skipping ahead, we basically decided to install the TV, and obviously the fireplace has now been installed, just plugging everything in, making sure that everything is working accordingly, and also the sky cable is working okay as well. And basically just to make sure that once the TV goes on, it's not actually going to fall off the wall. So the next step for us is to try and build a frame around the TV, making sure that we get all the measurements straight and correct. But unfortunately, due to a 1930s building, a lot of the walls aren't straight, so we had to make sure that we got all our measurements right, hence why this was the way that we could best do it that fits.
Take off that top one, need a longer piece.
Oh yeah, that's not.
And I think it's because the wall is not flat. Let's bring it down. We need to find the longer piece. It's gonna have to. So we need a longer piece for that top bit there.
So here we are remeasuring the width in regards to the media wall itself and the frame, because what we initially measured clearly wasn't the correct measurement, so now we're not having to remeasure it.
Honestly, that's why I ended up cutting this one shorter, now it's a bit shorter. When we did the whole minus thing, that's not working. We need to measure it.
I can see it.
As you guys now can see, we've built the main frame for the media wall, leaving the gap for the soundbar and the TV and the gap around the TV. So obviously now the next phase is to potentially start boarding it up. So we need to take the TV off the media wall, take the soundbar off, and yeah, as you guys now can see, we've taken that off. Now it's time to start plasterboarding.
It's 13 centimeters. Could have told you that, mate.
I'm measuring it with my eyes.
I know.
After putting on the plasterboard, cutting off the excess, so now the next step for me to do is try to cut the gap in between the media wall where the TV is actually going to sit. And as you can see here, it wasn't easy at all, because I'm gauging and I'm looking through the sides of the media wall just to make sure that I'm cutting as straight as possible and also in the right place. Now this is the front of the media wall after installing the plasterboard for the front, and it looks like it is now coming together. One of the ideas that we also had in this media wall is to try and have a niche where we can also hide our skybox and also the Wi-Fi router. So that's basically why we've got a little niche here, and I'm plasterboarding that bit now as well. So here now I'm just finishing off some plasterboarding towards the back. It's not the easiest thing to do, but as you guys now can see, we now have a little niche and a little shelf where the router is going to go, and also the skybox is going to go right at the back. After a couple of days of cutting and drilling, we now have the shelves.
Too much.
Listen, don't get gassed. Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, we did this together.
I am not a carpenter there.
If it
Man
wasn't,
does this, you know what I mean?
man does this.
Man does
It's my
this.
brains and your
My workmanship.
your
What are you gonna say?
your
Son.
workmanship.
My
and my
tradesmanship, my workmanship, my hard skills of cutting and screwing, measuring, cutting.
It's not finished yet. It's not finished yet.
Listen,
It's not finished.
the skeleton is finished. Ta-da!
So now that the frame for the shelves have now been built, the next step is to wire in all the LED lighting before you actually start plasterboarding. Reason being is if you plasterboard beforehand, you're not going to be able to do neat wiring and LED lighting. I've got a pet peeve for cable management, so I made sure that I did this first. As you guys can see, all the wiring, and make sure that all the LED light is working accordingly before you plasterboard. And later on, I'm going to be chasing in the profiles where the LED lighting is going to be going and sitting into. Here I am using a multi-tool and a cutting knife to do a profile chasing for the LED lighting into the plasterboard, simply because we're going to be getting it all plastered at a later date. So we wanted to give an illusion that the LED light was inbuilt with the wall and it wasn't sticking out at the top. You will see at the end when it's all finished. So as I said before, the importance of doing your wiring beforehand is so that when you get to this stage, you are able to install the LED lighting and do neat cable management. So the LED lighting now, I'm now installing it into the metal profile, which I've already chased and installed into the plasterboard, as you guys can see, so it sits flush. So this is a plastic diffuser which goes into the profile, the metal profile, once the LED strip lights has been installed. Basically what this does is, rather than having a harsh light, it gives you a soft light in the shelves once everything has been fully installed, painted and decorated. So that way you don't have those spotlights, you have a nice, soft, diffused lighting, which goes a long way. Like I said, I've got a pet peeve for this kind of stuff. Next thing to do once you've installed all the LED strip into the profiles is to start using your corner beams. Like I said earlier, we are going to be getting this whole media wall and the room plastered. In order not to damage your corners, you need corner metal beads. So this is basically what I am now installing, ready for when the plasterer comes to plaster the whole room and the media wall. Trust me, you want to do this, because otherwise when you're knocking the edges of your media wall, it's going to get potentially damaged and you don't want that. As you guys can see, the room has been plastered. Now the next step is mist coating. I'm here having some fun. The hard work has now been done. Now it's now time to mist coat and also to paint the room. And this is the final result, guys. We are very happy with the result. Doesn't it look amazing? Let us know what you think about this media wall in the comments below. And if you have any questions, stay tuned, because we will be showing you how we also built the stud wall and making up of the rest of this living room. We're very happy to show you the final result. And as per usual, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we shall see you guys in the next video.